Warning. The following program is rated R for salty language, unrealistic action sequences, perversion, and stupidity. There is nothing wholesome or positive to be taken away from what you are about to experience. Viewer discretion is advised. We're here to brighten your day. Maybe give you a smile at a time when you needed one. Or maybe you just want to fuck off for a bit. We are here to help with that. As with any comedy, there is the risk that lines will be crossed. Please remember that it is never our intention to offend, and we are idiots. Please don't get upset with an idiot if they say something stupid while trying to make you laugh. While the show is make-believe, the hosts have real employers in the real world. Those employers are in no way affiliated with this show. They do not condone our actions, and if we say something stupid, that's on the hosts and the hosts alone. If we have a guest and they say something that crosses a line, it's on them. We don't screen or rehearse. Lenny won't even come to meetings. Now. In a world filled with anger and hate, two men try to lure you into a world of stupidity, absurdity, and tasteful nudity. A nonsense zone. A place where, just watch the goddamn show. I know that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour myself a drink, take my titties out, and have a few laughs.
Welcome to Part 2 of the Nonsense Zone Season 2 finale. On this episode, we look back at more of the greatest hits from Season 2, along with commentary from our special guests, wrestling legend hacksaw Jim Duggan, Olympic hero Simone Biles, the loud guy from the B-52s. They did the song Love Shack. Everyone has heard of Love Shack. Aw, damn it. With appearances by Whoopi Goldberg, Bad Bunny. That's it. I'm putting my foot down. Nobody wants you on the show, Bad Bunny. If we could get the Easter Bunny, or even the Cadbury Bunny, I'd blow somebody to get Bugs Bunny, and he isn't even real. Go away, Bad Bunny. All this and more. Now here are your hosts, Lenny Bruce and Andy Biggs.
Len and I have a tremendous streak going of killing famous people.
Yes.
And we did it again.
We did. Inadvertently again.
Well, it's always been inadvertent. I mean,
well, true.
When we killed John Candy, we didn't mean to. We were just having a conversation. John Candy's getting huge. He can't live much longer. Like the next weekend, he died.
He was dead.
Chris Farley. You know what? I like Chris Farley. He's a funny dude. He's got to take care of himself. He can't last much longer. It was a week later. He was dead.
He was dead.
Yitzhak Rabin. We didn't really say anything about Yitzhak Rabin, but we just said Yitzhak Rabin a lot because it's a fun name to say.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody shot him.
He deserved it.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Richard Simmons.
Last week,
we talked about Richard Simmons several times.
Did.
He died.
He was dead days later.
Our streak continues. If there is somebody out there that you don't like, you just tell us to talk about them, and they're as good as dead.
I wonder if we should try it. I wonder if we should just bring one up real quick, just briefly.
Yeah. Who do we want to
kill? Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Oh my gosh, Len.
Well, he's an alright cat and all, but he's just not looking good.
Oh my gosh. Poor Nicolas Cage.
No. He's dead.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage gone downhill, and I like Nicolas Cage. I can't believe you just killed him like that.
Yeah, he won't be around too much longer.
I know. Wow, that's rough. What's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
A favorite? Well, you idiot.
Con Air.
Con Air's the favorite?
Con Air's fun.
Face Off is pretty good.
You don't
fuck him. How about Peggy Sue Got Married?
There you go. I mean, There you go.
That's back when his voice was really froggy. Like, oh yeah, how you doing? Good.
What's wrong with people with froggy voices?
Oh, froggy. He was like a mix between Mickey Rourke and Kermit the Frog.
I figure that my voice is less annoying than usual when it's froggy. So,
you know what's funny? I'm thinking, picture the gateway to heaven. It's all foggy, and St. Peter standing there, and emerging from the background, he sees something coming towards him, and out of the blue, here comes Richard Simmons. You know damn well he's like, oh my God.
I come up with so many ideas that I just can't do. And one of them was when Richard Simmons died, I wanted to take a clip. There's a clip from last week's episode when you were impersonating Richard Simmons and you're going,
oh.
And I wanted to say, I wanted to make a whole infomercial about like, oh, Richard Simmons is dead now. We need somebody to continue his legacy of sweating to the oldies, and then just make a video of you going,
oh, we have to.
But I just didn't have enough time. I mean, it was, yeah.
You know, supposedly they do the whole, they do the whole life thing. The life review.
Yeah.
You know, St. Peter would be like, what were you thinking?
And forget about Richard Simmons for a second. When you meet St. Peter, it's gonna be like,
yeah. He's gonna be like, you know what? Everybody take a seat. We're gonna be here a while.
What the cherry tomatoes? What I mean, they're cherry tomatoes.
Like St. Peter hasn't had a salad since.
Hold on a second.
Oh man.
Nip. How many people have you nipped?
What is this bull? Richard, come here for a minute.
Hold on a second, Len. You've jerked off in how many weird places?
Oh man, Richard, come here. He's gonna run everything by Richard Simmons.
I think he's gonna have a lineup of everybody that you've done some of these things to.
Yeah, like the final Seinfeld episode.
Yes.
Like, I wonder, has Andy ever in his life, whether a young lad, have you ever sported tidy whities?
I think when I was a young lad, yeah. I think I did.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, yeah. Before you had the option of switching over to what you prefer, you were strapped in the tidy whities.
I think so. Yeah, I believe I did.
The first thing that came to my mind is how tidy the whiteys were. And that's when I come up with the idea. It's like, if you ever see the old school burglars, they would go in with the women's nylons over their face.
Oh, okay.
And they're all that's what your pepper looks like when they're crammed in the tidies.
Interesting.
There's no room in there. Your pickle's just like pressed up against the screen door. Like, oh, okay, let me out of here. But there's people out there that wear them. They prefer them. There it is. Look at bad guy. There it is.
This is the picture Len sent me. Yeah.
That's the picture of your pepper in the tidy whities. Look at your pepper.
Did you wear tidy whities?
Oh, fuck yes, I did.
Of course. Everybody did. That is like Generation X. Like they did their time with the tidy whities. And that's probably why Len ended up being a commando guy for like a decade.
Once I broke out of that, oh my God, that cage. I would have been a nudist if it was socially acceptable. Look at your pepper.
And why is it got to be my pepper? Here's our new sponsorship. we have. So we're starting to gain attention here, and Len got offered a chance to model for these. Wow,
is that so close to correct?
Well, what I like is it neutralizes odors. So I mean,
I better put two of them on.
It's a maximum. I think we'll just leave this up for the rest of the episode.
Why does it gotta be my pepper? He says.
I mean, it's a
Nobody
legitimate
knows.
question.
You know, wearing tidy whities comes with so much responsibility because they're white and they're
Oh, yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
So many things could go on down there, especially as a kid, that you don't want them. You want some room.
Nothing left to the imagination.
Yeah, and not to mention things could happen. A little pee, you might poo, or get graphic. But whitey and the whitey, I know they come in different colors, but traditionally they were tidy whiteys. We should have a tidy whitey party. We should have one because
we could do it. The nonsense zone tidy whitey party.
Because just think of the morale. I mean, it would be uplifting and nothing but out loud laughter the whole time.
So they're tidy whiteys. My wife calls them whitey tighties, and I've never really understood that. But yeah, we could have a party.
Crushing your pepper from beginning to end. Picture your pepper. Picture it. Peeking through the screen door.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi there. Let me out.
There's no point even going into the restroom. You look to what our good friend Lenny Bruce did.
Just pee. Just pee.
With dry shield.
Water. Oh, yes. 25
With dry
times.
shield. And it neutralizes odors, which that could help with some of Lenny's farts. They're quite rank. So according to this, if it neutralizes odors, I mean, I think you're good on both ends.
That's like the I can't think of it.
Okay.
Odors. They say odors.
Yep.
That's like that spray. You ever see the spray poopery, they call it?
Poopery works. You're not using it right. You spray it before you go.
You're spraying it in the commode, like, it depends on, the way you're feeling. Should you go for an extra squirt? Like, I rushed in here, so it's getting 3 more.
I know exactly what you've been eating and everything.
Yeah.
Empty the fucking bottle.
Yeah. If you had salad for like the last 24 hours, you'd be like, a couple spritz. But you had the buffalo chicken salad with the meat lovers pizza. You're like, yeah. One more for good measure. Poopery. Woo!
There was a McDonald's employee who was sentenced to prison for setting a dumpster fire because the restaurant was too crowded. Joshua Darrell McGregor, 34 years old, was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. He became frustrated that the store was too busy. He also filmed the fire with his cell phone and posted the video to social media. McGregor was training to be manager at that establishment. Now, we both worked at McDonald's.
He was going up the corporate ladder.
Can you imagine if I remember it was a thing when you're working at McDonald's and a school bus pulls up, and everybody goes into panic mode. And there was even an occasion where multiple buses would pull up and you'd be like, freak out and just start making Big Macs and Imagine if we just went out and set the dumpster on fire instead.
Fuck those. Funny you say that, because that was the funniest job I ever quit. The funniest way I ever quit a job.
You did. Now that was funny. Yeah.
It was funny because they were busy.
Go on, Len. You go ahead. Go ahead and tell the story.
I showed up. I was in high school. I was like, what the fuck? It was a Saturday. I didn't want to be there anyways. But I did need more time, more hours to make it worth my while. So I showed up. It was the one in Canton. That's gone now. Sadly, it's gone. But anyway.
Sad.
So, showed up. I wasn't really, like I said, didn't want to be there when I showed up. Oh, the place was just big. Lines out the front door. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like 20 minutes early. So I went in, and I remember going up to the manager, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to kind of need more hours because, it's not really worth my while. They're working 2-3 hours here and there. And she kind of ignored me. I was like, you fucking asshole. So the other manager yelled up from out front. She yelled in the back, and she's like, Lenny, you could go ahead and punch in anytime. We're super busy. We could use the extra help. I was like, I bet you could. So I was like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. And she's like, okay, hurry. I was like, hurry? So I'm in there taking a leak, and I got my stupid uniform on, and I'm like, this is some bullshit. I was like, you know what? What the fuck am I doing here? So I was like, fuck this. I just walked out the back door, got in my car, and left. I kept the uniforms and everything. I was like, oh, fuck this.
So I got hired at the same McDonald's to work with Lenny, and we actually spent about 10 minutes working together, and we laughed so hard when we just saw each other both wearing the McDonald's uniform, and we stood in the kitchen and we just laughed at each other. And then he punched out and left. And then he quit. Then he quit like a week later, and I'm like, no,
he did too. He's like, he works at McDonald's.
Oh, and they used to do stuff. They'd show up when I had to work at McDonald's on a Saturday in the middle of the summer. It'd be 95 degrees, and they decided to write in ketchup on my car, "Hi, Andy." And they were just writing different things all over my car, not thinking that ketchup, I have a full day shift. That ketchup baked into the paint of my car. I'm out there just like, it's not coming off. I'm just like, thanks, Len. It was Len and Delbert, I believe.
Yeah. They say it's best things come to those who wait, Andy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Len quits as soon as I get hired.
Those were the good old days. I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I wonder if they sent somebody in the bathroom. They must have sent somebody in the bathroom to check on me.
Probably, yeah. Did I mention? I might have mentioned this on the show already, that I had the arrangement. Like, apparently, especially when you're talking about a college town, where you get a lot of drunk college kids coming in, but it's pretty normal for people to go into the bathroom and poop on the floor.
Oh,
and it was always somebody shit on the floor. Who's got to go clean it up? And I'd tell them, we had things called Katya cards, which meant you get a Katya card that was like a coupon for a free value meal. And of course, I'm either a college kid or just getting out of high school. I would tell my manager, 5 Katya cards, I'll go clean up the shit. And she's like, I can't do that. And then a few minutes later, she'd walk out with 5 Katya cards and like, go ahead. And that was like the running thing. Like, oh, somebody shit on the floor again? You know the price.
Yeah, the next day you're like dipping your fries with this. Well, you betcha.
It was the Katya. It was the value meals that were paid for by poop.
You were the quicker picker upper.
I cleaned up a lot of shit, but I got a lot. I like basically ate free for a month. Yeah,
that's living.
Yeah.
Well, you paid your dues, Andy.
Who would have thought? Apparently, it's a college town thing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just people go into McDonald's and shit on the floor anyways. I mean, we know a guy that was apparently he drank a lot of beer or something, but I mean, he didn't ever take a solid shit. And I remember he walked in and put his ass up against the wall and just sprayed shit across it.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I didn't clean that one up. I heard about that one, and I was like, no, I wouldn't have done that for 10 Katya cards. I wasn't going to touch that.
We were in Burger King in Ogdensburg years ago, and there was a fella, might be the fella you're thinking of. He came out, he's like, we got to get out of here. And I was like, we were just getting done anyways. All right, he was in a big yank. We're like, all right, well, let's go. And on the way by, he pushed open the door, and he did just that. I don't know how a human pulled it off. But it looked like somebody went in there with a 5-gallon pail of Hormel chili and just threw it against the wall. It was still running down the wall. Like, oh, fuck, we're like, let's get out of here.
Hold on a second. If you find yourself at a fast food restaurant, please don't just destroy the bathroom with poop. That would be wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was my PSA. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
some poor sap has to clean that up. And they're probably making minimum wage. And
that was 20 years ago. Let me tell you what.
I was probably making $5 an hour. Yeah. Cleaning up shit.
It's fucked up, funny shit that I've done and weird, funny shit. I got mixed feelings on that one. I was like, holy fuck. Same thing as we got out in the vehicle earlier. Like, some poor fuck. I would have if I was a manager, I would have shut that fucking place down.
Right.
Like, all right, everybody get the fuck out. This is it.
We're closed.
Out.
We're out of business.
Get the yellow tape. Mark this mofuggy off because we're done for the day.
This McDonald's will be a Pizza Hut in 2 weeks.
Somebody walked in there like,
oh my god! Could you imagine just the terror? Just like a horror, like, oh.
I mean, that's if I wow. I wish I could have saw the look on when he opened that door. It was like I said, he come out and got us. I was like, it was still running down the wall. I was like, oh my god! Like somebody murdered 5 cheeseburgers and a big bowl of macaroni and beef soup.
You know, a lot of really good-looking girls had sex with this man too. That's the part that I just never. I mean, a lot of really good lookings in this area. It's such a small area. Most of the good-looking girls in our era at least had a night with this guy.
Yeah. He made nasty poopy.
He was just a disgusting man.
There's something rolling around in my head that pertains to that, but I'll have to try to remember it for the next episode.
Next episode?
Yeah, something definitely was going great and ended with a funny. Oh, well, it's basically my whole life.
Yeah, no, I can
set people up for like, oh, this has been great. Like, oh, like,
yeah. I understand that because there's so many times that like I'll set something up and I'll be like, all right, now if they react like this is going to be perfect, and then they don't react like this, and I'm like then I'll just turn, or I'll have like the perfect joke, and I'll be like, and I'll lay it out there, and it went flawless, and then the person will be like, we'll come back with their own joke or this, and it's like,
oh yes, the rejoker.
If it's better, that's great, but it never is. It never is.
I've known some hardcore rejokers that it got to the point where you didn't really want to be around them anymore because no matter how good the joke was, they tried to better the joke.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind. Like you said, I don't mind. I don't mind a good better joke. Like, oh yeah,
if it is better, yeah,
keep the joke going. Yeah, but
or if they did this, and it's like,
oh yeah, it's like no.
Why
They didn't do that, you fucking fool. They didn't. That's
leave it alone. Enjoy the joke.
Yeah, just laugh at the joke, you asshole. There. Well,
hello there. Yes.
Hello, Andy.
Yes. Hi.
Archie Bunker used to fuck Edith.
Oh, that song's Glenn in the brain.
Oh man, the sounds that he heard.
Songs that make the hit parade.
Shut up, yo. Oh, fuck you good. You know, speaking of screwing.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was Edith Bunker, but how do porcupines screw?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Porcupines. I mean, they fuck. Porcupines fuck.
They do.
How do they?
Anybody want to send us a clip of? I'm sure you can go on YouTube and find it, and send us a clip. You can. I can't find anything. Again, this is the downside. There we go. Send it to us at andyb@nonsensezone.com. Downside, again, doing this every 2 weeks is like I'm completely rusty every time I come into the show. So rusty.
Yeah, porcupines screw, and so did Archie Bunker.
You ever watch rabbits fuck?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. And people like giving me crap, thinking, sick bastard. But when I'm trying to explain it to them, I was like, you clearly haven't watched then. And so I try to bring up like YouTube videos of like rabbit. This is amazing.
Yeah. And you can try to mimic it all you want, but you just can't go. You can't go that fast.
No, definitely not.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm picturing you trying right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at him go.
We used to work with a guy, and bear with me as I understand why or where I'm going with this.
Mm.
He gave himself the nickname Bubba. First of all, you don't give yourself a nickname. A nickname is earned. Somebody gives you a nickname, and you either like it or don't like it, and it's either sticks or it doesn't. You don't give yourself a nickname.
Especially if you don't like it, then you really hope it sticks with them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little description of what Bubba was like. Bubba, picture about 5'3" or 5'4". Probably when we knew him in his late 60s, I would say. Like the Amish beard that goes around the bottom of the chin, with a bean head, a little bit of a tiny bean of a head, and the perfect horseshoe hairline. He always wore a trucker hat, but he had it sitting on top of that, not pulled down to the ears or anything. And yeah, and he was a blithering idiot.
Yeah. And he talked like this. And the thing, it started the sentence with, well, the thing of it is,
and he was also one of these guys that thought he was outsmarting everybody. He thought he had a loophole to everything, even like the most simple thing, like, well, you got to show up to work at 8 o'clock every day.
well, the thing of it is, if there's nothing in writing saying that has
It's like, look, you idiot, you have to show up. That's the thing. Yeah, that's But anyways, I bring him up because I had the thought this weekend. The movie Titanic.
Yeah.
The movie Titanic was told from a person's point of view. It was a story told by Kate Winslet's character's point of view. So, of course, she's telling the story. Of course, she's going to say that Jack looked like a 20-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio. What if Jack was Bubba?
It was Bubba.
Jack was Bubba.
I'll never let go. Yeah.
I'll never let go.
Of course.
Yeah.
So she makes him a strapping young lad, the sex symbol of the 90s, because the movie was made in the 90s. Yeah.
It was Bubba.
I think it's more likely that she went on vacation and she hooked up with a bumbling fool like Bubba.
Surprise. Bet that water's awful cold.
Yeah. And I bet it wasn't romantic. It wasn't it was like a real hookup where like she was probably ashamed of everything that happened and everything that went on. Like, and then especially like the boat crashing and everything like that. I bet there were a lot of eye rolls and her saying, yeah, I think I'm going to have to, when I tell this story, I'm going to have to leave this part out too. Yeah. I mean, how the scene where Jack's up on the deck drawing drawing people and stuff like that. It was probably Bubba with a coloring book.
Purple. Hey, look, I stayed inside the lines.
Color by number.
or a word find.
I found ass on the.
He sounds them all out.
Nuke.
There's like so many ways that this could go, and I think like I bet he was a coward every step of the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Of course he was. He's Bubba.
He's chained down to in the basement.
Get me out of here! Hey. It's what it's cold. Oh,
Either that or he's a badass and pays no attention. Like, hey, fuck this boat. I don't care. I grew up with 3 hamsters in my life, and they were all named Steven. I won this at a hand of poker. I should have went with the Stanley Steamer. I fucked Rose in a Stanley Steamer. he fucked Rose. Bubba fucked Rose in the basement of the boat.
Yeah. But I don't know, like in the amongst cars from the early 1900s, I don't know what the equivalent of like a Chevy Chevette would be, but I bet it was that instead of the car that they showed him in. Like,
how'd you like that, Rose?
And there wasn't like the hand that on the window. It was just like a car, like
Squeaky piece of shit.
the whole thing.
Like, yeah, I just gave you a little bit of bubble.
I fucked your bitch, Cal. Now I gave her the heart of the ocean.
I just invented something called the Cleveland Steamer.
Fuck the boat. I don't care if it goes down anyways. Clean yourself up, you whore. I left a little Bubba inside you.
I've had better.
That stain's not coming out.
I wonder whose car this is.
The horn works. Honk the horn, Rose.
The whole time she's like, oh, again, I can't tell this part of the story either.
I just fucked this man.
It's a shame. Oh, I'm gonna have to make this look a lot better than it was when I tell the story.
It's funny. They say in the Titanic that the band played to the very end. Just to keep everybody calm and all that. Imagine Bubba kicked in there and Bubba / Jack and started karaokeing. Hey, he's good.
Yeah.
Hey, just putting people out in the crowd. Splash, I was taking a bath. Oh, this guy's really perking up the crowd. Now we don't care. Fuck the boat. Let it sink. Let it sink. Fuck it.
Life can only get worse from here.
I'm gonna strangle that man when he's done.
Hey, look, a pogo stick.
He makes the Bubba noise every time it hits.
Turns out the pogo stick's what sank the boat.
Yeah, punch holes in it.
There was no iceberg.
Look what you did to the boat, Bubba, you idiot.
Fuck this boat. You think I should name my cat Jermaine?
No matter what, people are like, we're gonna die, you idiot. He just keeps coming up with just random shit.
Yeah, fuck this boat, right?
He's the guy who goes in the drink when everybody's panicking, but he keeps climbing up on what's left of the boat and doing these fancy dives.
Cannonball.
Jackknife.
The triple Lindy.
Oh, even though they're freezing to death, they start cheering him on. Yes, yes.
Bubba.
Fuck you. I hope you all drown, you fucks.
That redhead over there fucked me the first night that I met her on this boat.
There's the whore right there.
Cars.
Hey, fuck your. Hey, Cal. That Gunner Tramp's a dead fuck. Bubba's floating on the door because he yanked Rose off by her hair.
Get up. I like to stretch out.
I like to stretch out.
Yeah, he survived.
Yeah, Bubba made it.
She tells the story. He's like, he died her. Well, no, but that was like, Len and I were kind of exchanging messages talking about this earlier. Don't corpses float?
They're supposed to.
Yeah. So like in the movie, she lets go of Jack and she says goodbye and Jack disappears into the darkness of the ocean. What happened is he'd bob there. It's kind of, awkwardly, because you're just like, push him away. Like, it'd be like I was talking to Len about this. It'd be like when you go to the grocery store and you bump into an old friend that you haven't seen in years, and you have a nice little conversation, and then you say your goodbyes, and then you bump into him 4 more times before you leave the grocery store. That's what happened between Jack and Rose. You'd be like, I'll never let go.
Here it comes again.
No,
What the fuck?
there's Jack again.
Oh,
Get a
back
stick.
again, huh? Get him the fuck out of here.
Don't corpse. Don't corpses fart too. It's just like
He's releasing gas.
they're just like, oh, there he is again.
You know, I bet if Bubba was in there floating, if he was floating near death, he'd start naming all the people he knew floating by.
Oh, there goes Cal. Hi,
Oh,
Cal.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Cal.
Here comes the captain. Serves him right.
Unsinkable Molly Brown, my ass.
Looks like she sank after all.
Hey, that's the guy that played Victor Newman over there.
Victor Newman. That's the first motherfucker going in the drink. Him and that fucking Fabrizio.
And the violin player in that band, I don't like him.
Yeah, how'd that
Singles
turn
him
out
out.
for you? Yeah, you see him floating by, clenched to his violin.
Well, I was actually this guy's boss, and
Hard dick.
within moments of meeting him on his first day of work, and I'm gonna be upfront, I'm not gonna tell the joke,
Oh,
but
that joke.
he comes up to me and he tells and I'm not easily offended. He told this joke was so offensive that it's like the brown note. Are you familiar with the brown note, Len?
No, just brown nose.
No. The brown note it's a musical note where once somebody hears it, they lose control. They just empty their bowels. That's the brown note.
Mm.
This joke was like the brown note, except you puke. I mean, it was so gross. Anybody that hears it, like violently vomit. Yeah, and I violently vomited. I said,
twice.
Don't ever tell that joke again. And then he told, then I heard him telling the joke like down in the distribution center, like, I don't know, an hour later.
You know, that same idiot, I had to train him so he could take my route if I wasn't there or whatever, or maybe whatever the hell the reason was. But that fool, we're standing in a bank and it's quiet. People are like, oh, yeah, hundreds and tens. Yeah, go fuck yourself. So instead of being quiet, he's telling me this story about supposedly when he's in school, he took some quiet, shy girl to a dance that nobody could get in her pants, and loudly looks at me and goes, "Yeah, so I threw over my shoulder and I screwed the shit out of her, and I went back to the dance." Right there in the middle of the lobby. I was like, oh my god.
The biggest bullshitter that we've ever met. I don't think a word that ever came out of the guy's mouth was true. You remember he was he was in the Air Force. He was in Vietnam. He was in charge of, he was the person that went around and found the landmines because he was in a part of the bomb squad. He was also a blue beret, which he says was the equivalent of the Green Berets, which we actually later ended up hiring a retired Air Force person. And he's like, what the fuck did he say? Blue beret?
Blueberries, you idiot.
There's no such thing as the blue beret. What are they, blueberries? Yeah.
Yeah, he lived in Maine. He lived at a blueberry farm. They're the freshest blueberries I've ever had.
He was a cop. He said he even showed us a picture of himself wearing a Halloween costume, clearly one that was like a $5 costume.
Dude, he got that fucker at Walgreens.
Yep.
Yeah, here's a picture of me when I was a police officer.
Oh my god, he is.
He lived under a bridge for a while. He
married to royalty.
He married some royalty out of South America, somewhere in South America. And family hated him and kicked him out, and he went and lived under a bridge. He was in a coma for 6 months, had to learn how to walk again. Yeah.
Didn't he say he was like a loan officer or something? Or am I mixing that up with some other fuckface?
No, yeah, he was a loan officer in Venezuela, and he said that.
Meanwhile,
and he takes a job. He takes a job driving for minimum wage, working for me.
And not to mention, he could barely speak and write his own name. There's no way that fucking moron was ever any of them things.
None of those things. None of those things. I don't think he ever left Northern New York. Honestly, don't
No.
feel like he ever did.
No.
He was in Vietnam, and yeah,
That'd be great. You can walk by a hospital room and see him almost taking his last breath, but he's still coherent. Just poke your head and be like, "Oh my, here he is." Like, he's dead.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
Yeah, just right before he takes his last gulp, like, oh. Even do the backup.
Like, well, this is so. Len and I have told the story on the air about how we thought we were witnessing somebody having a heart attack, or we were witnessing somebody having a heart attack. We thought we were witnessing him dying, and we were like tapping each other, like, "Oh my god, is this really happening?" We were getting excited, and then we're disappointed when he survived. It was him.
It was him. Oh.
This is also the guy we sold his scooter. We put the for sale $300 on his scooter, and the
brand new
phone started ringing off the hook, and
yeah. A guy you see at a stoplight on a scooter just blow the fucking red light and run his ass over. Just fucking not even hit the brakes.
Don't look back. Don't slow down.
Just go. I'd love to see that from the other stoplight. Hey, isn't that Bubba?
Cool.
Oh man! Remember we stalked him on his road test on his scooter that he failed the test 100 times. But
stalked him. I was his driver
with him. That's right.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, when you take, at least in New York State, anyways, when you take your road test for a motorcycle, you have to have somebody that has a motorcycle license riding in the car with the brownie, whatever they call that's for whatever reason they call him a brownie, the person that gives the test and decides whether you pass or fail. So I rode in the car, and some of the rules are, if you put your foot down at any time other than when you're pulling over to the side, that's an automatic fail. You have to do 2 right circles, 2 left circles, and 2 figure 8s. And dude, he put his foot down like several times. He couldn't do. I don't remember if it was the right circle or the left circle, but he could do one circle. He couldn't do the other circle. And
you didn't know what a figure 8 was.
The brownie starts laughing at him, going, "Do you even know what a figure 8 is?" And so I'm sitting in the car watching. I don't know how many. I lost count of how many times he failed this test. And I'm thinking, all right, so I'm going to have to say something uplifting or say something reassuring, like, "Don't worry, you'll get them next time." Whatnot.
Next time.
Comes back. "Well, I passed." Like,
I know.
What?
He did nothing right. Because me and another coworker watched on from a vehicle.
Did absolutely nothing right. No part of that test was a pass.
No, as soon as he left the curb in Canton at the frickin' DMV, he failed miserably.
He was so unsteady. It was a scooter too, not a motorcycle, and they're a little easier to ride, especially at the slow speeds.
You know that woman was probably like, he'll be dead soon anyway. So I'll pass him. She's like, he's not going to make it home on his fucker tonight. She went home and put the news on to see if there was a death on a dead guy on a scooter. 2 miles outside of Canton, New York.
So as a supervisor, I had to have some interesting conversations, and one of the more interesting conversations was when I had to talk to him about, we had this area called the distribution center where you picked up your internal mail and everything, and that's where he as a driver would go and load up his bags and whatnot. And I always had to harp on him, especially to, like, whatever you do when you're in that area, make sure you're professional. And he goes down, because we weren't professional. We weren't professional in any aspect of our jobs. But when we were in like the high traffic area, I had to remind everybody, that's a high traffic area. There are executives, there's whatever. You got to be on your best behavior. So he walks in with these 2 ladies that work there, and hold on. He does a, and he turns around and looks at the ladies and goes,
"Just gave you a little bit of Bubba."
You did. He did too.
And then I had to talk to him, like, dude, don't fart in the distribution center.
Do you remember the night there used to be this fat guy who used to come and meet everybody at night and take all the important documents and shit downstate? Well, so every night we all had to make sure that he got all his goodies. Well, he was fat, and he was a big fat smelly cat and kind of an odd feller, but so was Bubba. Were you there the night they had the argument? I don't know if I told you about that.
No, I wasn't there. I get to enjoy the story for the first time.
Oh yeah, they were. The guy's name was Ken, big fatty, and we used to stomp him. He used to go take a hot shit every time he came at night. So we took full advantage of that. But anyways, one night that moron was going up the stairs, and him and that fat Ken were having an argument, and Bubba gives a, "Hey, shut your mouth, fat ass." So the guy gets all offended and he gives a, "Oh, you fucking dim-witted fucker." He's like, "You fucking half your brain must be fried." I was like, we're in an office building. We're in an office building. You know, I mean, there's still people around. There's still people that been there for 30 years with suits on and shit. And them two morons had it out. I was like in the middle of the stairwell and I was like, one of the best days of my life. Fuck you, fat ass. You dimwitted fuck. He's like, you break that piece of shit.
They're both right. I mean,
yeah, they were both spot on with their insults. Of course, I was, I diffused it. I was like, fucking right.
Yeah, you can always count on Len to diffuse the situation.
I was like, Bubba, don't take that shit from that fat fuck. Then I went downstairs and I'm like, you know what, Ken, that motherfucker deserves every bit you give to him. He'll be back. He'll be down in a minute. Give it back to him. Here comes that dim-witted fuck. I went upstairs. I'm like, Bubba, don't be taking that bullshit from that fat ass. Get downstairs and set shit straight. I beat him downstairs. I'm like, Ken, that moron will be down in a minute. Tell it, motherfucker. Let's get this shit taken care of.
Oh, Len made my job so much easier.
Here he comes now.
I'm surprised I didn't have to address the throwdown in the hallway the next day. Let me tell you, I ran a pretty tight ship when it comes to this place. And one example was there was this old guy that used to come in and he'd always come in. He was just he'd tell us his stories, and it was always like just took everything out of him to tell his story, but he's telling a story about on his way here and stuff like that. And every time he looked up, Len would pull his pants down and show him his ass, and he'd be like,
We were in the middle of a bank.
Yeah.
And not like a bank that people know the bank. We were in the business side of the bank.
The offices.
Yeah. And this man would see my bare ass on a regular basis. Oh, man.
But that wasn't my favorite moment with him. My favorite moment with him was he comes in and he seemed more down than usual. And like, what's wrong? What's doing? Len, I don't know where he got this, but he picks up an orange traffic cone.
Yeah, there was a leak in the roof.
And so we're like, this guy is upset, and he shows up and he's like down at the. I was like, well, what's troubling you? What's wrong? You need to. Well, I got a ticket. Len holds it up.
He got a ticket.
He's like,
this man has been ticketed.
He's like, he just looks at Len for a second. And he's like, I was driving along and I didn't slow down in time.
He didn't slow down in time. I narrated his whole sad story.
And the guy just didn't know what to make of it. He just
right in his fucking face. I fought that stinking fucker every time he said something. He was just like, and then, as his day wasn't bad enough, I sent him off by taking a quick peek at my bare ass.
Yep, and then he took his ass out and
man, this guy here,
that's exactly was his reaction.
Oh man, let's look at this guy. He got a tick. Oh, I forgot about the road cone.
No, the road cone was a great moment. Yeah,
we were professionals.
Yeah,
we
as
took
a
shit- we took shit
supervisor, I
serious.
had like the skeleton crew, like yeah. And I ran a tight ship, let me tell you.
You know, he came looking for compassion, and I was there. He's like, I really need a shoulder to cry on.
It's like, he needs a shoulder to cry on.
You know, he probably got in a vehicle right there, and he was just like, you know, today might be the day. Today might be the day. I drive this fucker right off a cliff. Yeah. Hunches over the steering wheel. It writes his dog's name on the windshield in his own blood before he takes his last breath.
Okay, so this guy it wasn't his dog. His brother lived with him, and he made the mistake of telling us that his brother had an Akita named Kiki. And this was the meanest fucking dog that ever lived, apparently. And he said he comes in one Monday, like, and you're like, we're like, hey, how was your weekend? And he goes, oh, you don't even want to know. We're like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he's like, oh, well, we do our laundry down in the basement, and my brother wasn't home, and that dog, Kiki, comes down, and I'm like, and the dog followed me down and cornered me in the basement and wouldn't let me out of the basement. I was in the basement for 4 hours on Saturday, and the dog and the whole time I yelled, Kiki, no, Kiki. Which Kiki, no, ended up being like one of our sayings from that point on. But
Kiki, no.
So Kiki cornered him for 4 hours one Saturday.
Like peeking through the door.
Every time he tries to like get to the stairs, the dog like,
now Kiki. Meanwhile, this guy was like 4'11". He stunk like a maggot's asshole. He was, he was a role model. Yeah, I just throw that out there.
Like a maggot's asshole.
Yeah, you know what that is like.
And that wasn't the only story, but that was my favorite Kiki story. Kiki tormented this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was
Kiki. No,
Kiki.
We're gonna make this show. We're gonna do our best to make it a little kid friendly. And I've got a guest via phone line that is going to be here to help us do that. And so he's a fan. He's a super fan. I can't talk. He is our super fan, and I've been looking forward to getting him on here. This is Jack. We've talked about his giant hog, and it's great to have him here. Hold on one second. Jack, can you hear me?
Hello. Thank you for having me on the show. I am a big fan. I think that Lenny Bruce is very funny. And Andy Biggs. Well, let's hope he stops trying to do impressions soon. Other than that, he seems nice. Hello.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, thanks, Jack. I got to admit, after listening to last episode, my Bubba impression is not what it used to be.
Oh no. I thoroughly enjoyed the last episode.
Oh, the last episode was so much fun. Yeah, and just talking to Len throughout the 2 weeks about how much we enjoyed it. Yeah, he was giving himself headaches listening to it. And
the first couple times I watched it over, I had a headache.
Today show, like I said, we're going to be a little bit kid friendly in this episode because I have a baby coming in the next couple of weeks, and my daughter that is almost 2, she loves a show called Miss Rachel, and I thought, I got a lot of respect for somebody that can sit in front of the camera and just like talk and make content, endlessly. So we're a little inspiration there. So I'd like to start off by saying today's episode is brought to you by the letter G. Len, can you name anything that starts with the letter G?
Groin.
Groin. That's a good one.
Jack's groin.
Jack's groin is large. Yeah. I was gonna go simple, like go.
Oh yes, kid friendly. That's right.
Kid friendly. That's okay. Jack, do you have anything that starts with the letter G?
The letter G. I can't think of the letter G without thinking of all the whores I used to fuck when I was in Vietnam. I did not serve in the war. I just love Saigon whores. I used to twist them into the shape of an uppercase G after I violated all of their holes.
Jack, think maybe you're missing the point of kid friendly, but we love the spirit of the show.
I think this just became my favorite.
So, thanks for that, Jack. Didn't know that you had spent any time in Vietnam. That's great. So, well, let's try this again. So,
Oh man.
let's say today's episode is not about the letter G. It's not sponsored by the letter G. What if it's sponsored by the color orange? What's something that's orange, Lenny, that you like?
Oranges.
Oranges. You can't go wrong with orange. Yes, I football fan. The one of the Bears, Chicago Bears, my favorite team's color is orange.
The Bengals.
Jack. Oh yeah. Jack, what do you think about the color orange?
Orange? Let me start by asking you a question, Mr. Biggs. Have you ever felt the cold steel of a knife blade pressed firmly against your testicles? Don't answer. We will save this discussion for the post-show party.
I don't know that.
Cold steel right up against your genitals.
Wow. Lenny. Lenny.
Look, I'm out of here. Fucking go. Look at this thing. Look at it. Look, you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Look at it.
You broke. Len, I guess Len will be standing for the rest of the episode.
Look at it. Oh, well, I suppose that I suppose I could look for the receipt. Well, I guess I'll just set that right there. That's nice. Guess there's no getting around that.
Lenny.
Look at it.
That's some humorous shit.
Well, I guess I'll just hang out here.
Yeah. Well, this show just took a turn. You broke your stool. Moment of silence for Lenny's stool.
Loose stool.
This is the loose stool. Jack, are you enjoying facts? Do you like the facts portion of the show?
Facts. Knowledge is king. You can never know too much. For instance, all those shows where you mentioned my giant pecker. It is enormous. Want to see? We will save that for the after party. You're all invited to pose for pictures with my giant hog after the show.
Oh, I don't know. I hate to break it to Jack, but we don't really have a post-show party. Len's in one location, I'm in another location, and I have to dart to daycare and pick my daughter up after the show. So, Jack, are you enjoying the show?
Cannot answer that question right now. I just farted. It's foul. I'm concerned for the well-being of my nearby dog. Wait, there was poop. Quite a lot, actually. This situation needs my attention. I've shit my pants.
Oh, shit. Sorry to hear that, Jack.
Just took a turn there, Jack.
Yeah, I guess.
Throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Jack shit himself.
He shit himself, and that happens.
The letter G.
Oh, man. I got a loose stool and watery booty.
I mean, you got it all, man. You got it all. And Jack's back. Jack.
Hey.
There is something comforting about smelling your own poo-poo. I've cleaned myself and am ready to continue this show. I would do anything for the very funny Lenny Bruce.
Oh, well.
That's awful nice.
It is nice. He's a fan.
Yeah.
Fred Ames is coming back.
Oh yeah, you were saying that.
Ames is.
I think, and most of the employees too, right?
The same employees. Same employees are whatever's in the store locations that Ames used to be in. They're pushing them out.
Yeah.
The people that probably went on and have great jobs now, nope, they have to come back and work at Ames.
Yep. It's in their contract.
Yep.
Says here, you were a surgeon.
Now you got to go back and work in the electronics section at Ames.
Selling the same cassettes.
you got to go back and work in the women's underwear section at Ames.
Michael Bolton. There are more than 20 types of women's underwear.
I wonder what Michael Bolton's doing right now.
Jack, you have to go back to Ames and sell women's underwear.
Slips, thongs, hipsters, panties, tanga, V-strings, C-strings, Devon derriere, Pageant slip, cheeksters, seamless tongs, Brazilians, briefs, boxers.
Yep.
He knows. He still knows the whole product line.
He does. Yeah. I mean, once you work at Ames, you always work at Ames. That was fun. Jack, would you like to say goodbye to the crowd before we sign off?
Thank you for having me on the show. Fairy tales do come true after all. Lenny Bruce, you're hilarious. Keep it up. Andy Biggs, have you ever considered farming?
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for being on the show, Jack. Thanks for being our only super fan.
And that concludes Season 2 of the Nonsense Zone. We are all so very excited. Thanks for watching and listening. Andy and Lenny wanted me to tell you that they'll be back again real soon for Season 3 of the Nonsense Zone. It's very fucking exciting. Go home.
Keep watching the Nonsense Zone social media pages for updates on the Nonsense Zone. Season 3 will be out in the very near future. Yabba dabba doo!